Crazy people, Jacob Bowler here, and tonight we're going to talk about stress. We're going to talk about the cause and effect of stress, how to alleviate and eliminate stress, and how to actually come to terms with it as being doing something and not doing something when you should not be doing something when you should be doing something. You like how Krista crossed it over? Made it all confusing like for you? So guys, stress is doing too much of something you shouldn't be doing, or something that creates stress, and not doing enough of the thing that alleviates stress. Stress is like pressure. You think of a pressure chamber, it builds up, builds up, builds up, and then it explodes. If it's constantly put under pressure and there is no release valve, there is no way to alleviate the pressure, there's no way to monitor the pressure, and especially in our day and age when no one really has any idea what any of the warning lights are or knows that they exist. It's like in a car, you know what I mean? The warning light says check the oil or engine oil, so on and so forth, the temperature in your radiator. We have those warning lights inside of us, yet we just do not pay attention to them. They're not relevant to us. I don't know why, but everyone, and they just go it exploded, and everyone else has to deal with their shit, and then where the person from is all upset and their life is crumbling, and the person that they've just exploded in their face from hates you now because you're a douchebag. You know what I mean? It's that. It's to learn how to gauge, monitor, and know where you're at, see the warning signs before they happen so that you can monitor, do something to stop it before it starts. Learn to pull over. Learn to check things, learn to add some water into your system. You know what I mean? I'm using the metaphor as a car, but the same thing applies for us. We're doing too much of the things that add stress to us and not realizing that we can do things that take stress away. Life is sometimes stressful, but we are here on earth to learn. We are a species that can learn, can evolve. Every single thing that you've learned, every single degree, everything at university, college, school, someone created, multiplied it, and then taught it. And now every lawyer, every doctor, every single scientist, every single teacher, every single one of these people has learned something from someone who invented it. We can learn to do stuff as well. Understand? If we can go off and learn these tasks and these very difficult things that all these people and all around the world learn, if we can go off and learn all of that, if we can learn to go to the moon, if we can learn to go underwater and swim in, gas tanks and stuff like that, if humans can learn to make an engine, I'm pretty sure we can learn to do this. And the best way to explain this is if we can take a photo on a device and send it to someone else, and they're going to see the exact same thing that you took a photo of, and even if that thing was out of space, we see it and we see the same thing. That it's literally by no form, there is no transaction except everything that's happening. It goes from there, you take a photo and you send it, and somehow it equals that exact same thing over there. Incredible, right? Think about that. Now tell me why there's road rage. Tell me why there's so much anger, hostility. Tell me why stress is so rampant in people's lives that we are dying from dis-ease. We are not at peace. Stress shortens your lifespan dramatically. Stress makes you sick. Stress just is like the cancer. Kind of like on the same level, Stress creates cancer. Yet, guess what does the complete opposite? Mindfulness, consciousness, meditation, creativity, doing all these certain things in your life, exercising. Also other little things like grounding yourself in nature, going out in the sun for 15 minutes being in water. Simply being consciously aware of where you're at and applying the things that need to be applied. They need to be applied now, not afterwards. You don't want to be cleaning up the mess. Instead, divert the problem. Do it now. That's what discipline is. Discipline only comes about from fucking up so much that you're like, I'm never going to do that again. Discipline comes from pain, and seeing the pain that is greater for not doing something, and seeing the potential pleasure that you could have had because you've done something. People, the only reason you're going to ever change anything is the pain is too much from not doing something, and the pleasure is greater from doing something. But when we start off, it's the other way around. It's painful to do something new, and it's more enjoyable not to, because, well, learning to walk sucks. I know you don't remember this, but you fell over a lot. You smashed your face on everything. But we as human beings only got to a certain level of consciousness. We only achieved a certain level of our growth. We got to walking, talking, and that's it. We miss listening, we miss understanding, we miss the basic communication of listening to understand, not listening to say something. We miss that we are the creators and manifestators of our lives. We're on the whipping end of everything, and I don't understand why the world thinks it's easier to put your head in the sand and think, oh, I'm going to do nothing. Oh, it's be right, everyone else can clean up my mess. This is normal. What's normal about this? Why? Because everyone else is that stupid? Because everyone else is that naive? But that's being bullying, Jake, and it is. To be honest, it's to a point where it's ridiculous. It's to a point where you need that friend to like give you that loving but very, very truthful conversation. You're being an idiot. You're fucking up. And we all need those friends. We honestly do. We need those friends that love us more. We need those friends that truly, ultimately do the things that are greater for us. And if that means telling you the truth the way it needs to be told, the honest truth, those friends should be celebrated and absolutely thanked. Because it's true. Yeah, you might get offended, but who gets offended? Egos only get offended. Consciousness doesn't get offended. Why would you be offended? If you're being an idiot and someone says, hey, you're being an idiot, why would you be upset? Because you're embarrassed? Stop doing it. There's nothing embarrassing to happen. Kind of get it? There's this way of doing things in this world, and there's a way of not doing things. And if you have a look how the world is going, a lot of the population is doing the things wrong. Because that's why the world is in such a shit state. That's why if you have a look at the stats that's happening in this world, that is terrible. The amount of people dealing with mental illness, don't like to use it, but it's true, committing suicide. The amount of people dealing with obesity and other disorders, eating disorders. It's suffering. People going crazy and they're just raging and they can't do anything about it because they're just stressed out. But they're not doing anything else to fix it. And it's simple. I swear to you, if you go off and just learn a couple of little things and just apply them, add that as much as the bullshit that comes in on your life, balance it out. Apply more positivity than negativity. Do you know what I just did then? I released the pressure inside of me. That wasn't hard. I can do that anywhere, anytime. Your boss can't say shit to you because you're fucking breathing. You do this anyway. You breathe way too much. Honestly, you do. Human beings breathe too much. We breathe incorrectly. We breathe so much and so incorrectly that it creates stress and anxiety in our body and in our lives. You do it wrong all day, every day. And you shorten your lifespan and you create an unhappy place to live inside you. Where if you were to consciously change that and consciously breathe not only that, guys, not only will the stress decrease, but you consciously breathing will change the way that your brain is structured, and which will make you better. We can get stressed and be at the whipping end of everything, or we can get conscious and be creators of everything. If you see yourself come into a state where you're losing control, or you might see something that might stress you out, just choose your intention for that moment. So if you have to go do something that's going to stress you out, or you have to go for a meeting or an interview or whatever, or deal with someone or something, take a second, ground yourself, stretch, sit there in a hero's pose. Hero's pose makes you confident. Breathe, calm yourself down. Create consciousness around it. Set your intention. I'm going to this meeting. I'm going to be in this meeting for 15 minutes. This whole time I'm going to be at peace and utter peace. I choose consciousness. I choose harmony. And what will come out, it will always be good for me. Walk in, walk out. When you go do something that makes you happy, go look at the sky, go look at some trees. Doing those things, guys, seeking out green and blue, will help you out in that situation too. If you're getting in trouble, always try to find a tree or the sky to look at, because that will help you out, literally, or calm you down. But it's very important to understand this. It's a very simple thing in our life that we don't do anything to counteract, when there is hundreds of things you're supposed to be doing, but you're not. That's why your engine's running red. And if you do these simple little things, your life will be so much better. People want this materialistic thing. Another thing, I just have to bring this up. Everyone wants this materialistic wealth or this, stuff. We all want stuff to make our lives better, right? Because we're dealing with a stressful life. Now, at least we get something comfortable, right? I'd rather be comfortable in misery than uncomfortable in misery, right? Instead of doing that, you're using an external thing to make you happy and comfortable in a miserable state, and in an unhappy place and unhappy state. Why wouldn't it just be smarter, wiser, ultimate consciousness of ultimateness to alleviate that and be happy and at peace? Instead, we focus on our external, but we don't focus on the internal. We might be doing something that we don't want to do, but you can find peace about it. We might be in a situation that we don't like, but we can find peace about it. We can come to terms with it inside of ourselves, acknowledge it, and choose to think differently, feel differently, and believe differently about this. Thus far, it will be different for us. We hate, we're spiteful, we're everything negative but nothing positive. And we expect positivity to only come from receiving something externally. You must meet my demands, and then I shall be happy. That's a bit manipulating. Why would you manipulate that? When happiness, joy, love, peace, harmony, all great things come from within us, why is that not your focus to internally manifest? Why is that not your focus to internally grow? Why is it not your focus to internally get that prosperity, abundance, and wealth? Why don't you become internally rich? Because then why? Because then it doesn't matter, the external things? I've been there. Guys, I remember this so clearly, the day that I reached this level of consciousness. I found out, I remember reading this scripture and I was just like, I remember being pissed off. Yeah, I was pissed off. I'll explain why. And I was praying about it. I'm like, God, this is stupid. But I want this, this, and this, and this. And if I don't have this and this and this, I'm a fucking failure. If I don't ever have that, my life is a waste. I wasted my life. If I don't materialistically achieve this, if I don't physically be that, if I'm not in that place. I was angry about that. I was angry when I found out that we must become everything internally. You must no longer seek or need that external. When you become at peace and one internally, Dalai Lama said this too will change. So why is he at such peace? Because he knows this too will change, positively or negatively. So it's not to change the way that we feel, think or believe because of something. It's not a high and a low. Just stay neutral. People mistake me. Two things. People think I'm really calm, ironically. Like, wow, you're so calm, Jake. How are you so calm? And I'm like, I'm not calm, man. I'm tired. That's a joke. But I do work ridiculous amount of hours. I was never calm, but I became calm. Okay? I chose to become calm because I realized, and on the other side of this, these are two funny things. People think I'm serious. Like, what? Be happy. And I'm like, you think I'm not happy? Yeah, you're not happy. Why do you think I'm not happy? Because you're not smiling. Like, you're not smiling. Yeah, but, why do you think I'm not happy? Because you're not smiling. Because you're not jumping up and down. And I'm like, so you think I'm unhappy? Yeah. Stop being sad. Stop being mad. Stop having a bad mood, a low vibration. And this is what's very interesting about this. I'm not sad. I'm not mad. I'm not low vibration. I'm neutral. I'm before and after the wave. Instead of being addicted to highs and lows, ooh, if it's not awesome, then it's crashing and it's sad and it's everything so terrible. Become to peace with the middle. Come to peace with nothing. Come to peace with absolute silence, stillness, boredom. Nothing. Nothing has to be happening. You don't have to be taking steps forwards. You can find peace and harmony in peace and harmony. And when you find that's your middle ground, everything else becomes a little. People jump from a raging river of negativity and they think they're going to jump straight into a raging river of positivity, yet they've done nothing to create that raging river of positivity. Why do you want raging rivers? That shit's stressful. Why do you always think you want to be a million miles an hour? Why don't you just want to chill out, man? Why is it so serious? Why is everything a race? So this is the thing you need to understand. Yeah, you might not to stop that raging river of negativity and to generate that raging river of positivity. But what you can do is find neutral ground. Okay? When you find neutral ground within you, that's what my whole thing's about. We do not try and take you from here to here straight away. How? I'm going to leave you. You're not going to be with me. I can't coach you 24/7. And that's what happens is everyone goes to these motivational events and they go to these seminars, they pay for these books and courses, and they're all jacked up. And then they go home, and a few hours later, the energy is slowly decreasing. Self-belief is getting taken over by self-doubt. Give it a day or two, you're actually worse off. Because you're like, oh, I wasted all that time, wasted that energy, now it's not going to work. You've now created a belief that this doesn't work, everyone's wrong. I'm just going to give up. They can't be right. It didn't happen for me, so it's not right. So instead, guys, you take a step at a time and learn to crawl, learn to walk, and before you learn to run and climb and fly. So what I'm saying to you guys is simply find peace. Simply stop manifesting negative things. Stop being stressed. That's a pretty good start. Having a life that is not stressful, leading a life that's not constricted. Because when you're stressed, your whole body just jams up. It's like being wrapped up by an anaconda, and that's what's happening to you. So why don't we just focus on that for a while? Find peace, hit neutral, learn to stop before we learn something else. And I think this needs to be the fundamental starting point of all things. Build your foundation. Stop falling 10,000 feet and hitting the ground because you went so high, and then hit the ground because the ground is so low. Put a trampoline down. You know what I mean? Make the fall not so high. So when the highs happen, you just land on your feet again. You remember being in the ocean? If you've never been on the ocean, you've got to go to the ocean. When you're in the ocean and you're just above neck height in the water, and there's waves, not smashing waves, just perfect waves, and that takes you up, and then you go back down and touch your feet again. And you go up, to go over the wave, you just touch your feet a little bit. You go over the wave, and then you go back and you touch the ground again. And over the wave, and back down again. That's sort of the principle that you're saying. It's like be before and after the wave. Don't go so high where you're way out of reach and you're just gonna fall and crash and burn. Learn how to build the foundation higher so you don't fall on your face and get put off this self-help growth that you need, that we all need. Nothing against any other coach or spiritual advisor or whatever. I just see it. I've experienced it. Makes perfect sense to me. There's going forwards, there's going backwards, and then there's neutral, stopping. We're just here to learn to stop. Obviously, I'm going to teach you how to go forwards. Okay? But to learn to go forwards, we must learn to stop. Okay? And that's what this is. Learn how to deal with stress. Learn how to deal with it before it becomes anxiety. Learn how before it crushes your soul and deteriorates your body and shortens your lifespan and makes your lifespan here miserable. Okay? Just a couple of things, like I said before. You can go out in the sun, you can go stretch, you can exercise, you can meditate, you can drink water, you can consciously breathe, you can go do some art. Art's really good for you. Play video games. Go do things that make you happy. Just start to let out the pressure, okay? Before it gets too much and blows up in your face and then blows up in other people's faces. And usually the people that it blows up in is the people you love. And I tell you what, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want that regret of knowing that you're fucking up your life and the lives of the people you love because you're not dealing with your shit. That's not a burden on your shoulders that you want. Take responsibility for that. Learn to jump on your own grenades. Learn to take your time out. Learn how to fix this. Okay? As always, guys, look after yourself. Look after each other. I love you all. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, hit that little bell icon, go to the Patreons, go to all my social medias, guys. Blast this to the universe because this is good, positive shit. Have a good night, have a good weekend, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.